Hey guys, what's going on? Tonight, I'm taking you to a modern French restaurant in Las Vegas, Chinatown. With so many fine dining options in Las Vegas, is this one the best? Well, let's go and find out. This restaurant is called Partage, and partage is a French word meaning to share. The owner named it this because he wanted to share his passion for amazing food with everyone. This restaurant is only a couple miles away from the Strip, so it's a quick drive away. Its address is 3839 Spring Mountain Road, and it's open from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. every day, except for Sunday and Monday when it's closed. It's located in the center at Spring Mountain, and parking can be extremely tight in this shopping center. This restaurant here, Half-Bird, just opened up a few days ago. We'll have to try it out next time. There's so many different stores and restaurants here and just not enough parking. Many of the restaurants here are highly rated as well and very popular, so it gets really packed, especially at nighttime. This restaurant is at the very end of this long shopping center. Here's a look into the kitchen. They have a chef's table experience where you can sit here and watch them in the action for $400, and that includes the 9-course tasting menu and the wine pairings along with that as well. Here's a look into their private dining room. Those lights are really cool. They can change those visual graphics to anything they want. And they have a really large wine selection here too. Here's a look at their menu and their beverage list. So this restaurant doesn't offer anything a la carte. They only offer tasting menus, and there's 3 different ones to choose from. The 5, 7, and 9-course tastings. Every month they change up the menu, so what I ordered today might not be what you get if you eat here. It's really like a surprise. You'll never know what kind of dishes you'll get. It's pretty expensive, but you don't go to a high-end restaurant expecting to save money. The price isn't really that bad though for everything that you're getting. You'll be paying double or triple the price if you're eating at this type of restaurant on the Strip. I decided to order their signature 9-course tasting menu with additional truffles. For my drink, I ordered the Passion Lavender Mocktail. It has a lavender syrup and a passion fruit and cranberry puree. These bartenders are all very knowledgeable and experts in mixology. I love sitting at the bar and just watching them do their thing. So I'll give you guys a little background on this restaurant. They started this restaurant around 7 years ago, and all the chefs are classically trained and even worked in Michelin-starred restaurants in France. One of the owners of this restaurant, Chef Yuri, was also the winner on an episode of the show called Chopped on the Food Network in 2018. This drink was really nice and refreshing. You could definitely taste the strong cranberry flavor in it. The first thing that came out was the amuse-bouche, which is like a small complimentary sample they give you at the beginning to get your appetite going. This was a nice bite-sized piece of toast with king crab on it. So this 9-course tasting menu has 3 appetizers, a foie gras dish, a seafood dish, their signature dish, a meat dish, a cheese dish, and finally a dessert dish. The first appetizer that came out was a chilled carrot soup, and it came with a toasted crostini with cured ham, peaches, and micro basil on top. I'm not sure if there was any pumpkin in the soup because I thought I tasted some of that as well. It was a nice, slightly sweet, savory soup, and it paired really nicely with a crunchy toasted crostini, especially when I dipped that into the soup. For my next appetizer, I had the scallop carpaccio. These scallops were flown directly from Japan. There was toasted black sesame seeds on top of it, and it was sitting on a bed of celery and passion fruit puree. This was really good too, and a nice contrast of textures from the crunchy sesame seeds on top to the delicate slices of scallops on the bottom, and the passion fruit made it slightly sweet as well. I was really thirsty, and I finished my first drink really quickly. I was ready to order another one. The next drink that I ordered was the exotic colada mocktail. It contained pineapple and orange juice and coconut and mango puree. I really enjoyed this drink, and if you like mangoes, you'll probably love this drink too. This was my favorite one of the 2 drinks that I ordered. It definitely tastes really tropical and makes me feel like I'm on a beach somewhere. For my next appetizer, I had the grilled octopus that was flown directly from Spain. And it came with grilled pork belly, ratatouille style vegetable mix, and red pepper foam. I also like how they laid everything out in this dish. It's like a work of art almost. The octopus was cooked perfectly. A lot of the time people will overcook the octopus and it'll be really rubbery and chewy, but this octopus was so tender and it was really meaty too. Next, I had the foie gras dish. It came with some grilled corn on the top, a duck jus honey sauce, and some popcorn on the sides. I've eaten foie gras a few times before and I hated it, but this time I actually liked it quite a bit. Foie gras is fatty duck or goose liver, and it was so soft and fatty and sweet, it really just melted in your mouth. And the popcorn on the side gave it a really nice crunch too. This was definitely a really heavy dish, so it was nice to have that cracker and some carbs to balance out the fattiness of the foie gras. So they gave me this fish knife for my next dish. I've never even seen one of these before. I guess in a lot of French restaurants they serve the fish whole, so they give you this knife to help cut up the fish. And they say that notch on the top of the knife helps to take the bones out. But my next dish was a fish dish, and it didn't have any bones, so I really didn't even need this knife. For my seafood course, I had the halibut straight from Alaska. It came with a lemon confit on top, and on the bottom was a fennel puree with peanuts. The fish was so tender, you don't even need the fish knife to cut into this, you could just use a fork. And it was slightly sweet, really lemony, and the peanuts at the bottom gave it a really nice touch too. My next course was their signature dish, and this was actually my favorite dish of the evening. They said this was kind of like a French pizza. There was ham, chicken, and cheese in the middle of it, and it was surrounded by puff pastry. The cheese was melty and gooey, and the puff pastry was nicely toasted and really flaky. This was like a really elevated ham and cheese hot pocket. Next I had the meat course. It was steak with black truffles on top. On the side was potato cooked 3 ways, potato puree on the bottom, potato confit in the middle, and a potato chip on the top of it. On the outside was a coulis of tarragon and parsley, and that was kind of like a chimichurri. It had a really strong herby flavor to it, and it really brought the dish together. The steak was super tender and had a really savory flavor. The black truffles just put it over the top and added a strong salty and earthy flavor to it. Next was the bread and cheese dish. It came with a baguette and a goat cheese mousse, and on the outside was a homemade granola with almond, raisin, and oats, and in the middle was honey and balsamic vinegar mix. I think this was my first time ever eating goat cheese. It really gave the dish a tart, funky taste to it, almost kind of bitter, but it was a really good contrast to the sweet honey in the middle. I really had to give this a nice swirl to mix everything together. And finally was a dessert course. It had strawberries and cream and a cracker cookie-like cup. It had nice chunks of fresh strawberries, and I really enjoyed all the cream that was with it. It was sweet, but not too sweet. The 9th course was very filling. I think even the 7th course would be plenty of food. By this time, I was already really full. The service here was outstanding. Everyone was super attentive, and my water glass never even sat half empty. It was immediately filled. Each dish came out quickly as well. I never had to wait long before the next dish came out. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed our video. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. Tell us, what's your favorite French restaurant in Las Vegas?